Hi, I'm Jessica, and when I'm not drinking all the coffee, watching Razorback sports, or hanging out with my family of boys, it's my passion to help elementary music teachers just like you find your unique teaching style. My goal with this podcast is to share helpful tips, strategies, and to give you the motivation you need to gain momentum in your teaching so you can continue being the music teacher rock star you already are. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about 5 things that I'm thankful for. I'm recording this the week before Thanksgiving, and I just feel like in my personal life, and I'll go into a little bit about that, but lately I have just been feeling a little bit of discouragement, if I can just keep it real. And if you've been listening to me or on Facebook or in my Facebook group or anything, or Instagram, you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I keep it pretty real. I mean, I'm a pretty positive person, but I like sharing a little bit into my personal life, and also to just keep the conversations open and honest. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I want to just, first of all, tell you a little bit about what's been going on in my personal life, but also to talk about what I'm thankful for, because I think it's easy as humans, but also teachers and parents in friendships in any area of your life, to sometimes have hard things come your way. But the thing is I want to encourage you to not stay stuck in that place. Don't say, I can't talk. Don't stay stuck, there we go, in feeling discouraged and like things are hard and that you can't get through it, because that's not true. You can always come through on the other side. And I know especially finishing up this week before Thanksgiving break, whether your Thanksgiving break at your school is a week or if it's just 3 days, I know before any holiday, it's easy to feel discouraged, and you just feel like your schedule is jam-packed and that there's so much coming your way, and it's overwhelming. You look at your schedule and your calendar, and your students are just, they realize there's a break coming up, and the colder weather, if it's cold where you live, makes things a little more difficult. So I want to just stop my regular, podcast episodes about music education and talk about, and I'm going to include a little bit about music in this, obviously, but what I'm thankful for right before Thanksgiving. I just think it's important. And I'm going to do another podcast episode that's actually going to come out a little later. I usually have my podcast episodes come out every Thursday, but next week it's going to come out a little later because Thanksgiving is on Thursday. So I want everybody to just take a break and enjoy your time with your family. But next week's episode is going to be why I'm thankful for music education. Okay, so today's more of a personal one, and next week's more of a what I'm thankful about music education. Okay, so let's get started. So I told you I wanted to be a little vulnerable and tell you about some things I've kind of not been struggling with, but just some things that are going on in my personal life that have been a little hard lately. Well, first of all, there was some stomach bug stuff going on in my family, and which that happens, being a mom and a wife, things are going to just happen. And so that was hard, but I feel like having 3 kids, if I can just, like I said, today's about my personal life, so keep it real. I have 3 little boys, and sometimes it feels like, I never really understood that phrase, when it rains, it pours. I mean, I understand it, but I mean, when I became a mom, I totally got it. And so, basically, when something happens, it seems like it's just like everything just kind of hits the fan at once. And so our oldest son, I'm not going to go into detail, let's just say he had some stomach problems. And then the middle son he's in 1st grade, our oldest is in 3rd, and our middle son had some problems at school that same day. And then my youngest son, our boys were at their Mimi's for the weekend, which that was the first break we've gotten we went to an Arkansas football game and just enjoyed the weekend, just being the 2 of us. It's been a while. But anyways, I don't know if your kids have ever come back from a grandparent's house, but we call it the Mimi Detox because she does a great job. And if my mother-in-law's listening, she's actually a music teacher. She does a great job and loves those boys fiercely. But when they come back, it's just, the 3-year-old especially, it was just a hot mess and just all day in a cranky bad mood and screaming and crying. So anyways, all this was going on at once while my husband also was sick. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I feel so overwhelmed today. It just became one of those days that just, I put all my work aside and just basically had to put my family first. And I was like, this has to happen. Everything's going on. And it was just so discouraging. And not only that, I've shared a little bit, but I haven't talked about our journey a lot. But I have written a blog post about it before about our oldest son has autism. He's 8, and we found out when he was 5, although we knew from probably the age of 3 on that something was different. He's high functioning, and so it's one of those situations where when people meet him, they're like, really? I couldn't tell. But I don't know if you've ever seen the show Parenthood. But the little boy in that show, his name is Max, and so our situation is similar, but also different from that situation. But the show has just helped us a lot, just even watching them navigate their own journey. And I love this quote I've seen before where it's like, if you've seen one child with autism, you've seen one child with autism, because it's so true. Because you guys, I've heard so many comments where, oh, well, he doesn't look like it, or oh, I know a kid with autism and he doesn't do all this stuff, or does he do this, or it shouldn't be that hard because he's verbal. I mean, all the things I hear, and I know people come from a good place. When people try to give you advice about teaching even, or parenting, or any life advice, I feel people come from a good place, and I know that, and I take what people say, and I do take the advice, but then it's also, you have to realize you're not living my life. Right? Do you ever feel that way where you think you're like, okay, yes, I can hear your advice, but you're not living my life. So you take what people say, even if you're listening to me in any podcast episode, I say this over and over, take what I say, and my advice is not I don't know what I'm trying to say. You don't just take what I'm saying. Take what you hear and make it your own, and apply it to your own classroom, your own world, your own life. So anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. So anyways, I kind of got off a sidetrack, which I do every single week, but, he has just been having a harder week than normal. I don't know if it's because of going to his grandmother's house or, I don't know, but he has been just kind of just out of it more than usual. And so trying to navigate that, and it's just very hard, and I don't talk about it, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but just trust me, it's very hard, and it's very wearing, and we love him with our whole entire hearts, but it is something that is just kind of the situation that you kind of learn as you go. I have had autistic kids in my music classrooms before, and teaching students with any disability or special needs is challenging, but you figure it out. But when it's your own child, it's a whole different can of worms in itself. And it's weird being on the parenting side of it now and dealing with his teachers and trying to help them navigate him as a kid. It's just a different world. So anyways, all that to say, I've just had kind of an emotionally draining week, and I'm good now. I'm good. I feel like we all go through things, and it's okay to go through things. But like I said, don't let yourself stay in that place of hardship and just be like, woe is me, I'm never going to get through this, because it's not true. So, moving on, you may have just fast forwarded through that part to get to the what in the world is she thankful for, because she's taking forever to get to the point. Okay, so first of all, I'm thankful for God. Thankful for the ability to serve on worship team. I play piano. I've been playing piano since I was 6 years old. And playing on worship team at my church is an outlet for me because I still get to play piano, but it's also my way of serving in my church and using the gifts God gave me to serve others. And so that's the first thing I'm thankful for. And I know God gave me the abilities I have. He gave me the strengths and abilities to play piano, but also as a teacher and as an influencer, as a mom, as a wife, as a friend. God has equipped me to be able to handle all the things I just mentioned, but also to be the best I can be. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm grateful for my family. Even during the hard weeks like this week, I have a very patient husband who If you have ever watched, if you're a part of the Elementary Music Teacher Academy, he is the person who records my lessons. He helps edit my videos. He has helped develop my website. He has helped me with every techie thing you could imagine. That's him, my husband Grant. And I'm not just grateful for him just because he helps me with my business, but I'm grateful for him as a person because he is the most patient individual that you will ever meet. Very calm and collected, which is not me. I am not that way. And so I know that I need that in my life. I need that calm and that very patient, because he brings me back down to earth when I'm having one of my, this isn't working, or how do I do this? Or, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't do this anymore. And he's like, yes, you can. Try this. And I'm like, oh, okay, that worked. Anyways, he's just very patient and calm, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for my sisters, and God bless me with two amazing sisters. I'm grateful for my three little boys, like I already mentioned, and my parents, and every other family member. I'm very, very grateful. So I'm grateful for music. I said next time I'm going to touch on music education, but I'm just going to talk about music in general today. I'm grateful for my first grade teacher who had a piano in her classroom. And I'm not talking about my music teacher, my regular classroom teacher had a piano in her classroom and played Jolly Old St. Nicholas. And the kids, we were all sitting, it was one of those stand-up pianos, sitting behind it, so I couldn't see her hands, but I heard her play that song and went home and tinkered on our old piano my dad had just gotten for free from somewhere, and figured out the melody. Without her playing piano in her classroom, I'm not saying I would not have ever decided I wanted to take piano lessons, but that is kind of where the interest started, where my musical journey began, was that day sitting in that first grade classroom. And then I'm grateful for, piano teachers that came along the way to teach me. I'm grateful for band directors and choir directors. I was in choir in middle school, and then I started band, and then played piano and clarinet all the way through college. I'm grateful for every professor that helped develop and shape me as a musician and as a music teacher. I'm so grateful for that musical journey, and every person that was put in my path to help shape me as a musician. I'm grateful for the ability to play an instrument, because I feel like so many times, and I have a keyboard, I have a piano at my house, but also a keyboard, and the keyboard is what I play more because it's usually when my kids are asleep and I can just plug in my headphones so nobody can hear me. And it is just such a release, being able to sit down, play an instrument, block out the world, and be able to just play for myself, not for anyone else. There are times I've played for other people, there's times I'm teaching, but to be able to just have the ability to play for myself still means the world to me, because it is such an outlet. Everybody has a different way that they have outlets. And I feel like being able to sit down and play an instrument just means so much to me, that God has given me that ability. But on top of that, music, I feel like being able to just listen to music, and no matter what mood I'm feeling, being able to, like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, on my Instagram stories a lot, I am posting about music I'm listening to at that current moment, and just a song will just speak to me, and I'm like, man, I need to share this and share who this artist is. And I just can't even sit here and tell you every not musician, but artist that I listen to, because I have such a wide plethora of music I enjoy listening to. And it honestly just depends on what mood I'm in that day, or what I'm experiencing, for what kind of music I feel like playing. And honestly, it'll just come to me. It's even sometimes just old school NSYNC, and yeah, I'm going to go there. Country music, worship music, rock music, pop music, classical music. It just depends on what mood I'm in for what I play that day. But I'm grateful for music, being able to just push play and listen to something. I'm just really grateful for the ability to be able to do that. I am going to say I'm grateful for music teachers. Okay, like I said, next week's going to go in more detail about that. But I am so amazed at every music teacher I have met. Whether you teach private lessons, you teach a ton of kids in elementary school, band directors, choir directors, whatever kind of music you're teaching. I am so grateful for you because you are truly changing the lives of your students every single day. You are helping these kids experience music when they may not have ever had any other chance. Like my first grade teacher, like I said, she wasn't a music teacher, but she played music for me, and boom, that curiosity started. And all of a sudden I just realized something inside of me was like, ooh, I like how she's playing this instrument. I'm very curious in how to play piano. And just went home and played the song. I mean, not right away, you guys. I don't want you to think I just sat down and just all of a sudden I knew every single note. But I'm saying you don't know what student is walking in your classroom and how you are affecting them as a teacher. You don't know what they're going through. And I'm not going to go into detail about my life, but there were some very hard things in my childhood that without music as an outlet, I don't know if I could have gotten through it. So you don't know what students are walking into your classroom every single day, and they are going through so many things in their personal lives. And they may not even tell you, but you are that outlet for them. You are that person, that class, that lesson that is helping them get through this, get through their life. And you have helped them find something that'll help foster, give, that gift inside of them. They may not even known that was there. So I'm grateful for each of you. I'm grateful for every single music teacher that's making a difference, because you all have different strengths and personalities that you're using as a teacher to help shape those little lives. And then last but not least, and this is going to sound really weird until I start explaining it, but I'm grateful for stuff. There were so many things I wanted to talk about, so I just lumped it in the category of stuff. I'm grateful for clothes, my home, especially in the winter months where it's cold outside. I'm grateful for our town we live in. I love this area. We live in Northwest Arkansas, and it's just so pretty here and so many things to do. I'm grateful for friendships. There's so many amazing friendships that have come along my way my whole life, and I know some of them serve a purpose for a season and some of them are lifelong friendships. I'm grateful for food to eat, for our cars. I'm grateful for provision and jobs and be able to, support our family. I'm grateful for how we're able to bless others not as fortunate. I truly believe that all those things I just mentioned, we're blessed to be a blessing. I'm not going to talk about all the ways we bless others, because I don't feel like you should bless others to get recognition. But there are so many ways we have been able to bless others just because we've been blessed. And I feel like it's important to go out of your way to look for ways to bless other people. It could be something so simple as paying for coffee in front of, for the person behind you. It could be, someone needs money for gas and you just fill their tank. Look for ways to bless others this season. It doesn't have to just be the holiday season. It could be all the time, but it could even be something so simple. You never know who out there is hurting and who needs to be blessed, and you have the ability to do that. Even so simple, even your students, even just giving them a sticker for doing a good job that day, that's a way to bless them. It can be something so little as leaving someone a note, maybe another teacher in your school, and leaving them a note in their box in the office, and they find it. It could even be anonymous, just letting them know that they're doing a great job. So look for ways to bless others. And so I also wanted to mention that one way I like to bless the music education community is with every sale I get through my website, I use it to go and help put money back into a music education nonprofit. VH1 Save the Music, I think, is a great one, but there's other ones I like to pour into as well, because I know what that's like. Like I've shared my story before, not having instruments, not having any resources and materials when these teachers start out. And I think it's important, where my school had not even had music for 7 years. There's still schools. It's not heard of as much, but don't have music programs, or they don't have any resources or materials. So I think it's important to try to help these nonprofits that are helping these schools get music into their schools to help them do that. So if you are listening to this right now and you are getting something from this podcast, I would love for you to screenshot on Instagram and tag me in it at Jessica Poresta. I would love for you to leave a review so others can find this podcast who are music teachers who are needing to hear inspiration. And like I said, most of the time I am talking about music education. I just wanted to differ from that today and to just share a little bit of my heart and my personal journey and what I'm thankful for this holiday season. I hope you got something from this, and I would love to hear what you're thankful for. So let me know. All right, you guys, have an amazing Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And while you're there, I would love for you to review the show and leave a rating on iTunes. To find out more about how I can help you gain momentum in your elementary music teaching career, head to thedomesticmusician.com, where you'll find free downloads, courses, the blog, and so much more. Continue teaching music and never doubt the impact you're making each and every day in the lives of your students.